Hi, my name's Paddy Kinahan. I'm a musician from England. I currently live in Ohio in the USA, and today is the 4th of April 2024. Thank you very much, Art by Artists, for asking me to take part in this. So I grew up in southeast England, about 15 minutes north of the M25, which meant that as a teenager I was part of a thriving music scene, and I could regularly play gigs in and around London, as well as getting to watch so many fantastic artists. I was exposed to a really wide variety of music, which is sadly something a lot of kids these days are missing out on. So many local venues which are vital for creating opportunities for young musicians have closed down. So I feel very lucky about that. I grew up in a council house. Money was always a bit tight, and there were quite a few of us under one fairly small roof. And I think a lot of people around me when I was growing up had maybe a bit more than I did, and maybe didn't really understand what my life was like. And as I've gotten older, I see many people who don't really ever become aware of how other people live. So I always try to highlight social issues in my music where I can. But I also know people don't really want to be lectured. So I want to have fun too. So there's often a kind of humour in my music that's maybe masking a kind of maybe a slightly more serious emotional message that's there. I think a lot of the sounds that I try to emulate come from country artists. Like for the last few years, Willie Carlisle has been my idol. I'm a big fan of like classic country artists too, like Hank Williams and Roy Acuff, Woody Guthrie. But I also adore artists like Dan Reeder and Daniel Johnston, who I think really redefine what Western pop music can be. Phoebe Bridgers is everything to me right now, and of course everything Paul McCartney has ever done is so beautiful, and everything he makes contains a lesson for any musician who is willing to learn. At the moment, I'm really just focusing on improving as a live performer. I get out and I play at least once a week. And I've been recording a new EP, which comes out on the 28th of April. I think the biggest challenge for me as a musician is just staying motivated in a world where it feels like success really hinges on learning how to work the social media algorithms. I don't always want to do social media, and sometimes it can feel like it's burning me out a little bit trying to keep up with being active on social media, and that can detract from the art of what I do. I know it's a bit cheesy to say this, but if I could go back and meet my younger self, I would say, just believe in yourself more, trust your instincts, trust your abilities, and trust that the people around you love you enough to take care of you when you need their help. I think that advice would have saved me a lot of wasted years. I've tried over the years a few different unconventional mediums. I've tried and I failed to build my own instruments. I've experimented with layering ambient field recordings and playing bass guitar solos over the top. I tried to use Twitter as a kind of musical instrument. And I always find myself going back to the tried and tested method of playing 3 chords on an acoustic guitar. If I try too hard to actively create music, I end up paralyzed with anxiety about the process of making music. So I think the best stuff I make is when I just allow myself to relax, and when I stop actively thinking about music. My best lyrics usually come to me when I'm driving, and chords and melodies appear to me normally when I'm just laying on my bed and staring at the ceiling, or if I'm 15 episodes deep into a Dance Mums binge. And preparing for live performances normally just involves me going over and over and over a track until I can play it perfectly whilst allowing my mind to wander. If I can play the song well whilst I'm recapping Doctor Who episodes in my head, then I know it's ready to go out and play live. I think just the most important thing about playing live is just have fun. If you are having a good time, your audience will pick up on that and they're going to have a good time too. I met someone recently who was familiar with my music, but she had no idea who I was until about 5 minutes into our conversation, when she realised that I'd written a song that she'd been listening to on repeat for weeks. She was so excited in that moment, and she asked me a bunch of questions about how I write music, and it was just really great to feel that genuine excitement and enthusiasm for something I've made. I always worry that friends and family and colleagues are just being nice to me about my music, so it feels very special when a total stranger is excited to meet me. And I hope that people, when they listen to my music or watch things I post on Instagram, that they just, have a nice time. If it's a nice 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever, just, take away some kind of positivity, maybe a bit more self-awareness or awareness of the world around them. If anything I make is capable of doing that, that's great. I'm on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple Music, a bunch of other streaming platforms. I'm Paddy Kinahan everywhere. PADDYKINAHAN. And yeah, just feel free to reach out and speak to me. I'm always looking to talk to people and get to know people and collaborate with people. I want to build or just be part of a musical community.
Working every hour just to pay the bills on time, while CEOs skim billions in profits, it's a crime. Turn the heating off and try not to eat too much in one day, 'cause an honest day of work just gets insultingly low pay. Well, we shouldn't have to beg for little scraps down on our knees. Eat as many fucking fudge rounds as you fucking well please. Oh, Wall Street is a cesspit, but you dumb fucks bitch and moan, 'cause you saw someone who's worse off using an Obama phone. We got organized, don't listen to their lies. We all struggle the same, and poor folks aren't to blame. So fuck the billionaires.